Alright, so what we got here is Kyler Murray's ex-GM basically talking about how he's not a franchise quarterback and he can't really be trusted. He's very talented, but you can't really trust him. And another thing, they don't want to pay Lamar like he's this bad guy that Baltimore's painting him out to be. But he literally, the only bad thing you can say about him is he gets hurt at the end of the year. Other than that, he's like the best role model. He does everything he needs to do. Great player and a winner. Kyler Murray wasn't even a winner when he got his contract. He was actually under 500 as a quarterback, and they paid him 220 with questions about his maturity, film study. There's a lot of stuff going on. They still were able to get his contract 1 year before his option ended. So I don't want to hear, oh, he waited. He didn't wait. He's doing exactly what Lamar's trying to do. He's trying to get paid while he still can and to stick with the team he wants to be with. But if the team don't want you as much as you want them, you got to move on. But the thing is, I think that the Ravens knew all along after the year ended that Lamar wasn't going to be there. I think they gave him they were always going to give him the tender for the franchise tag, and they always knew that he would probably not sign it. So I think they knew. They're saying all the right things. Oh, we love Lamar, Lamar this, Lamar that, but they knew he wasn't coming back. They had their eyes on these quarterbacks, these top four quarterbacks the whole time. I think they're going to trade with one of these top five teams, do a flip flop, and they knew this all along, man. They'll probably get the Alabama guy because that's really the only him and I guess the Ohio State guy. Those are the only two guys that really can shine his shoes. But Lamar's still better than both of them. He's proven in the NFL. Like he has a feel for the game. He understands the pocket, how to move. He's faster than everyone. Smart. He just does it all, man. Those guys haven't proven to do that at this level. So I don't know how the Ravens feel so confident here, especially with your offensive coordinator gone. So you're installing a new offense, so you don't even know what you're about to be seeing on the field. So let's listen to this right here. Let's listen to what this guy was saying about Kyler. Interject.
Kyler thing, it's been talked about a lot. I do feel like him. You just, I mean, you ask the question. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Well, I'm sure there were times
where he looked like one of those guys
that you thought he was one of the 7 or 8 best. When you say you wake up in the morning, you have one of the top 8 guys, and you have a chance. I mean, throughout his time when you were there, did you think he was one of those top 8?
Yeah, I mean, when you draft a guy number 1, so you put all your eggs in that basket. And in the first year, he is a offensive rookie of the year. Then the second year, he's a Pro Bowler. And the third year, he's a Pro Bowler. So you got to think that he's heading in the right direction. Yeah. And, I just thought he kept getting better and better and better. There's just some times of inconsistency with him. And obviously the height hurts him at times, seeing over the line and processing and seeing the field. But at the same time, he's just a tremendous talent. He really is. The stuff he does, you see in practice.
So he's saying he has trouble seeing over the line because of his height. Guess what? Lamar's 6'2", 6'3". He doesn't have to worry about that. So that's another thing you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about the height issues. Now, if Baltimore drafts Bryce Young, they'll have to worry about the same issues. I don't know that they should want to be worrying about that.
Some games, he's just off the charts. I think it's just putting it together
that's the
and playing
problem.
Consistent football for 4 quarters.
Some games. You want it to be most games, not some games. Some games means you lose more than you win, so that's not good.
What do you think causes that? I mean, do you think it's because there's been a lot made of off the field and not like the traditional bad off the field stuff. He's supposedly a good kid. He just people were talking about him he'd get distracted. The video game thing became a pop culture thing, the contract thing.
Do you think that video games would affect Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, hell, even Cam Newton? Do you think any of these guys value video games over their quarterback position, which pays them hundreds and millions of dollars, which will change their family's life and generations over? You really, that's what I'm saying. When you have someone that values video games over that, you don't have a franchise quarterback. Lamar, you don't hear anything about that stuff. He is about his business. He's about his shit, and they don't want to pay him. I just don't get that, man. If the NFL does him wrong, I'm going to dog them all year 10 times harder than I normally do. I'm going to literally dig into their asses every single. If they literally botch this, guys, I promise you, this year I'm going to go so hard on the NFL. I'm literally going to freaking rant on them at every single chance I get. And it's going to happen. So we're going to keep eyes close on this situation, guys. I promise you, mark my words. If this goes anything other than the Ravens doing right by him, yeah.
The whole deal, is that overblown, or is that the root of some of the inconsistency, just some of the study habits? I remember Calvin Beecham, who I really respect, didn't call him out as a bad guy or lazy or anything like that, but he had to mature a little bit, and that's not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is you see that I had to mature as a player my rookie year, but I wasn't a quarterback. And, that's the heavy is the head that wears the crown thing, and there's a lot expected of those guys. Was it overblown, or did he really need to grow?
I think he still needs to grow, and
he still needs to grow, guys. That's not what you want to hear. That's not a franchise quarterback. You think Brady still needs to grow? Does Lamar still need to grow? Does Burrow? Does Trevor Lawrence? Does Justin Herbert? Does Josh Allen? Does Patrick Mahomes? Do any of these players still need to grow up? So why are we giving this guy so much rope? Why does he get so much rope? He came in the league 2 years after Lamar, has played 2 years less, and he gets paid earlier and more? How does that make sense? He hasn't paid his dues. He hasn't won an MVP. Lamar won an MVP his second year. This guy has made Pro Bowls in a weak NFC division which has no quarterback. He got beat out by Aaron Rodgers and I guess Tom Brady, but both guys were in the playoffs. And then Matthew Stafford won the Super Bowl. So he basically has a cakewalk to the Pro Bowl every year because all the good quarterbacks are on the AFC side. This year he's not even going to be in the running because he's going to be gone for half the year. It's going to be Jalen Hurts, whomever else. So we're going to have to wait. This draft is going to say a lot. Literally right after the draft, we're going to be making some bold predictions. But I'm telling you guys, I got eyes close on this Lamar situation and the Rodgers situation, but I don't think the Rodgers situation is going to mean anything. Even if he goes to the Jets aren't winning the Super Bowl, so we're talking about the Jets going to the playoffs. Maybe we have to see their schedule. They probably won't even make it. So actually, we did see their schedule and it didn't look good. So I'm not even caring about that Rodgers situation. It's all eyes on Lamar. And speaking of which, actually, let's finish this. It's almost done.
Again, it's not slanted towards his character. He is not a bad guy.
How is saying that someone still needs to grow up not a slander towards their character? Like, if someone was speaking about me on TV or on some podcast right now and they said, hey, man, that Quinzone, man, hey, that Quinn Jackson, man, he still needs to grow up, man. That's an attack on my character. That's a personal attack. Whether it's right or wrong, you attack me. And you have made me look a certain way, whether it's right or wrong. So for him to say that is complete capping. He's capping.
Not the cap.
Kid has a good smile and has a nice way about him.
Yeah, but that's not when smiling and having a nice way about you doesn't win football games. So thanks, but no thanks.
It's like anything. Guys have to continue to learn what it's going to take to be great. Does he know what Peyton Manning and Tom Brady know?
No, how would he know what they know? He doesn't know them. He's been drafted a decade after Peyton Manning's played. So how would he know? Almost a decade, close to a decade, probably not quite. But Brady, how would he know what Brady knows? They play in two different divisions, right? And so how would he know? No, he doesn't know Brady like that.
Takes to be great? No. Does he work? He does work. I think it's just that side of it.
Someone says, see, that's not good. When someone's saying, oh, yeah, he does work. That's not how I want someone to describe him. I want someone to say he's the hardest worker. He's constantly working. I don't want them to say, yeah, he does work. That means he just does what he needs to do to get by. That's how I take that. And that's probably what happens. He's probably not the first one in, the last one out.
The film study, the attention to detail part that he can continue to improve upon, and I think he will.
Something like that, Lamar doesn't struggle with film study and attention to detail. That's what he's good at. That's what makes him so good, his attention to detail, the way he plays off of you, the way he reacts off of your movements and what you're doing. That is attention to detail. That is studying a team. That is studying yourself. So that's something Kyler doesn't do, man. Brady does it.
Because Kyler's a proud guy, man. He doesn't want to lose.
See, that's not good. All right, he doesn't want to lose. That's good. But being a proud guy as a quarterback, that's not good. You don't want to be proud as a quarterback. That doesn't. How does that help you win football games? It doesn't, because you're going to be about yourself. You got to be selfless. You got to be about the team. Everyone else, you come last as the quarterback. Mentally, you have to know that. The guys that think that they come first are the ones that don't make it, guys. Believe me.
Don't want to.
Brady never had that
down.
attitude. He was the most selfless guy. Think about Brady and Peyton Manning. They never were I. Think of Cam Newton. He was always I, right? Kaepernick, right? I. Guys like that, they're gone. Like, think about it. Ryan Leaf, I type of guy, gone. First round pick, bust. You can't be a quarterback and be about yourself, because then you're just not caring about making your players and the people around you better and your coaches. It's about you and getting paid and yourself. It's narcissistic. You don't want a guy like that leading your team. We see it all the time. The guy Will Levis, guys. He has that type of personality, man. He's got the arm talent, the quick release, but if you watch him play, he made a shit ton of mistakes, and he just is too gung-ho. So guys like that don't really make it in this league. He's too into himself. He's taking bathroom selfies, showing off his body. That's not what your quarterbacks are supposed to do. Is Brady doing that? I'd be emulating anything Brady does if I was playing QB, honestly. I'd be soaking in anything he does and doing the opposite of what Baker Mayfield or any of those guys do. Honestly, if you want to be a winner, you emulate winners, right? But back to this. Went a little off topic.
I think his best ball is ahead of him. I think they need to be creative and do the right things with him offensively.
His best ball better be ahead of him. He's like 23, 24 years old. If his best ball is not ahead of him, they have a huge problem upon their hands.
But, I think that the best ball is ahead of him, and I think he'll get it right. But, like I said, it's just, to me, in that area of watching film, studying the game, attention to detail, I think that's the area where he can vastly improve.
Vastly, not even, he said vastly, guys. Do you guys understand? Let's look at what the word vastly means, because I don't want you guys to gloss over what that means. He's saying he needs to vastly get better at attention to detail, film study, and preparation. The three most important things a quarterback must need. To a very great extent. Immensely, guys. So he needs to immensely get better at the three things that make a quarterback pretty good to great. So you're telling me that guy got paid $200 million, and the guy that has those things is struggling to get paid. But I'm supposed to believe that the Ravens don't already have a plan set aside, and the NFL doesn't have a whole show made, right? Get the hell up out of here.
Picked him at 1. Were there any concerns over his playing baseball?
All right, we'll stop here. Who cares about
he's
playing baseball? Now let's look at this. He got his contract signed. Kyler Murray did. Let's look at this. He was 22 and 23 and 1. So he wasn't even 500, guys, and he got his contract. All those stories came out about him, but ultimately he still got paid. Now let's look at his buddy over here, Lamar. Wins what? Let's see, 70% of his games, right? 49 and 21. Struggling to get a contract. That's why I think they knew all along, guys. The Ravens knew they weren't going to get Lamar back. They knew, guys. They knew it. I'm telling you, there's no way you give him because think about it, guys. They gave Joe Flacco a contract. Joe Flacco got a nice chunk of change, and you're telling me Lamar can't get one? Lamar's 10 times better than that guy. Joe Flacco was the product of a defense that carried him. That's all that was. He made a few throws here and there, but they didn't win because Joe Flacco was amazing. They won because their defense carried, and he made throws when he needed to and ran when he needed to. That's it. Imagine having Lamar with that team back then. They would have blown through every team. That's what I'm trying to say. He's a better player, but they don't want to pay him, guys, because they have other plans. They knew. They just want to avoid the contract. That's what they're doing. They figure, you know what? We're not a Super Bowl contender. Let's not break the bank. Let's get another guy on a rookie deal and build around him and just keep doing that. I think the Ravens are going to just keep doing that until they find someone who's actually a pocket guy that can do it for the next 15 years, unquestionably. That's going to be hard to find. They might get it this year, they may not. It's a gamble, but I'm going to keep you guys posted, man. This is the one story that I got my eyes glued on. So whatever happens to Lamar, you guys are going to know, obviously, elsewhere, but then you're going to get my take shortly after. And if it's some bullshit, if it's something that just is like, it makes no sense, that kind of ruins him or like puts him in a bad way, or it seems shady or fake or whatever, guys, you're going to hear from me, guys. And the NFL is not going to like the videos I put out going forward, reaming them, guys. Believe me. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.